when people need help, I want to really draw their attention to our website, which is an interactive website. It's stlhelp.org. So 24/7, people can request help. And we have right along the top, get help. And this is for family members and caregivers and friends. They can request help by clicking this button right at the top. It's also available along the menu bars under health equipment when it says request help. When you click that, you go to the request help page. And it's got information about our many locations that people can drop off used home medical equipment and that they can request home medical equipment for themselves or maybe a friend or a family member. So this is the simple form here on the right, this request help. And this is the fastest way to get help. We have a phone number, which I'll share with you here in a moment. But the fact is, by having somebody fill out this simple form right here, ask height and weight, who do we contact, what do you need, hit submit, and that is so simple. And it makes it easier for our dispatcher to be able to get back with people. She can see right away what is needed so she can check the inventory. And in fact, you can call us Tuesday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. On Saturdays, it's 9 to 1:30 p.m. And you'll get an answer within 24 to 36 hours. You might say, what kind of equipment do you have? What does St. Louis Help have? We have, say, Invacare hospital beds. That's the main type that we take. Incontinence products, even open packages, pull-ups, bed pads. We don't take diapers because we find that very few people request the diapers. We do, though, keep the pull-ups for people, dry shampoo, wheelchairs, including manual wheelchairs, transport wheelchairs, pediatric equipment. We have got more than, oh gosh, 100 pieces of pediatric equipment, and we get more all the time. Variety Club, which of course provides free home medical equipment for children, the wheelchairs and such. They refer the parents for when their children outgrow those items to us. And you might say, well, doesn't their insurance cover that? It's really interesting, and it was very eye-opening for me to see that how many people wrote that they were waiting for their child to get a wheelchair. The wheelchair had been more than 6 months. And then when the wheelchair arrived, more than you'd think, and the child had outgrown it. So then we get this brand new wheelchair, and the parents are there because the insurance won't pay for 2 in 1 year, no way. And they won't take it back either. So they're going through our inventory in hopes that they can find a wheelchair that'll work for their child. So pediatric equipment, we need those. We have lift chairs. You know, they look like recliners, but they'll lift somebody up so they can get out of the chair. Bathing assistance items, you know, walkers and wheelchairs, even the Hoyer lifts when somebody can't get off the floor. We've got those. Things we don't take, bariatric beds. And that includes the Invacare. It's just, they're just too heavy. We can't move them around. Adult diapers, I mentioned that. We don't do anything to do with blood, or certainly not like a defibrillator, electronic equipment. It's more of the mechanical, although some of our Hoyer lifts are certainly, you know, they're certainly, they have motors associated with them that we can take, but certain things like stair lifts, chair lifts, we don't do that because a lot of times they're custom to the house and our insurance just thinks that it would just be too risky for us. No ostomy products or tube feeding. We're now available to drop off and pick up items 6 days a week. And while we don't have, there's no walk-in pickups. You need to call, or better yet, go to www.stlhelp.org to request help. But we are now available throughout the St. Louis region through wonderful partnerships with like-minded organizations that allowed us to join with them to better serve people in the community. So on Saturday, these Saturday and Wednesdays, these are the ones, the warehouses that we've had open for a long time. We've got two warehouses. One is in Olivet off of Gilman Rock Island Industrial Drive, and the other one is in Crystal City off of Bailey Road. So we're serving Jefferson County. And that's on Saturday and Wednesday from 9 to 1:30. On Monday in the city on 7th Street at Love and Action Health and Wellness between 10 and noon, one can pick up items that people need once they get, of course, they have to be reserved, as we explained, and then also drop off items to be donated. And that's Tuesdays and Thursdays. We've got Abiding Savior Lutheran Church in Melville, also known as Concord, from 10 to noon. And they're doing the same thing, collecting and distributing home medical equipment. By May 1st, we had gotten more than 200 pieces from Abiding Savior since January of donated items from the community, which is really fueling our ability to take care of some of our lower income populations. St. Martin United Church of Christ, that one is in High Ridge, and they're 10 to 2 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Finally, on Friday, we've got the care service, which used to be known as St. Jacob and Ann Care Service in St. Charles. So we have our presence in St. Charles, and that is from 9 to 3. And then there's also Love and Action is at St. Stanislaus Polish Catholic Church in North City from 10 to noon on Fridays. I realized I left out on Tuesday, very important, Aging Ahead. We partnered with Aging Ahead, which has the senior centers, and they on Tuesdays from 9 to 3, where they're collecting and distributing home medical equipment to people in the greater Lee May area.
The first question we had was asking whether Greater St. Louis included people in the Metro East area. If somebody's in Illinois, can they get equipment by going into the city location or the South County location, or is that only for St. Louis folks?
We do not have any locations in Illinois. However, we don't turn away people from Illinois. I live in Illinois myself. But anyway, if they're able to, they can enter the system the same way by going online, stlhelp.org, or by calling. And if we got the item, which a lot of times we do, make arrangements to pick up at one of the locations. But yeah, they'd have to come to Missouri to pick it up. That's the difference.
That's okay. I think that's a great resource for people. There's a few questions about donations. My first question was, do you have to make an appointment to drop off a donation? Or are you able to just walk in?
You can just walk in.
Okay.
The locations in the city, I want to go ahead and say they want to call first. Other than that, you just show up and drop off during our open times.
All right. So the next question is sort of about eligibility. They're wanting to know if there's a particular age range that you serve, or if they just contact you based on whatever their needs are. And I'm going to add to that, beyond age, is there any other kind of eligibility?
This is the beautiful thing about St. Louis Help, okay, is that no, we do have no age limitations and we have no income requirements. We do focus on, of course, St. Louis City, County, St. Charles, and Jefferson counties. But we even accept people coming from outlying areas if they're able to pick it up. It's so easy. And it's neighbor helping neighbor. They're cleaning out, everybody, the loss of a loved one is horrible. And they'll look at all the stuff that they had to take care, to care for their loved one. And what do they do with it? Well, we're the solution. Drop it off at these places, and then we'll clean it up and we'll get it into the hands that will improve the quality of life for your neighbors. And this is entirely free in every way.
Well, and I know I'm working with a family right now that wants to try out a particular style of walker, and they're not sure that their family member is going to do well with it. This is a really nice option for a family to be able to do that before committing all their insurance dollars or other resources to that.